Hello everyone, welcome back. Okay, so for today I'm gonna have for you guys a battle between two big rivals from the North American side of the community. Every time they meet up online, there's always trash talk, always plenty of aggression going back and forth. So let's see what happens on this game. As you guys know, you already read the title of the video, but there it is, the players presented. I'm sure that some of you are already going, ooh, this is gonna be good. Yeah. We're gonna have spawning here on this bottom left position, the blue Protoss, going by the name of Minigun. He's a member of Team Complexity Gaming, a solid Protoss from the North American side of the community. Not the finest ever, but one that participates on a lot of tournaments, and he's a solid pro gamer, quite committed, so I think we might be seeing more good things coming out of him in the future. And he was always able to have a last word to say when he faces against this red Zerg in the past. It's gonna be EGIdrA, member of Team Evil Geniuses, spawning here on this top right position. And well, like I was saying, every time these two guys meet up online, well, from what I checked before, Minigun has been taking the advantage and winning most of those games. So I think that EGIdrA might have a statement to make here and prove everyone that Minigun was just a bit lucky, like he would like to say. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'm pretty sure that Minigun puts a lot of effort into his gaming as well. But EGIdrA has a contender here. He needs to be careful if he wants to show everyone that, well, Minigun might be good, but he is better. So let's go for this game, taking a look at what the players are doing for now. As you can see here on EGIdrA side, he decided to go for the spawning pool first. It's obvious that it's related with the fact that he knew that Minigun would be sending his probe his way and probably delaying his hatchery on the natural expo as much as possible. While here on Minigun side, as you can see, forge first, probably forging to fast expand, at least I'm assuming that. And as you can see, there's the probe going back and forth onto that ramp that gives access to the main base and down into the natural expo once more, with two drones showing up to try to shoo it away. So can EGIdrA land his hatchery here on the natural expo and proceed with his plan for this game. But oh, the probe is getting really pesky. Those two drones are trying to poke at it to death and finally shooing it away, but leaving a pylon there. So quite annoying for EGIdrA. He's gonna have to just poke this pylon to death with his drones. This is gonna take a while there. While we do see that the probe is actually attempting to head back in again, and EGIdrA trying to intercept the probe and getting a big hot pursuit going on here, with this probe just trying to escape and survive the aggression of the drone. And seems like we're gonna have some sort of battle ensuing here on the place where it's supposed to be EGIdRA's third position. Whoa! He was trying to place a hatchery there. I wonder if he's just attempting to expand here and surprise Minigun. Here he goes again. Oh, that was so close, but the probe denying it once more, and seems like that Minigun will have none of it, forcing EGIdrA to just delay his expo for so long, and EGIdrA even considering going to land his expo here. There it is, actually landing in there, and at the same time clearing the pylon here on the natural expo. So now he has his third base, well, it's his second now, already with the hatchery, and whoa, double expand for EGIdrA, going for his hatchery on the natural expo and on his third at the same time. Incredible macro mode for EGIdrA, while Minigun is just finishing his nexus, so finishing his expansion here on the natural expo and try to make a wall off. But whoa, I'm pretty surprised with EGIdrA. Basically he's trying to just recover the time he lost with that drone versus probe battle, trying to just get in time and get his economy rolling out of those two bases this early in the game. Also, with these two Zerglings, he's fully aware of which way Minigun is heading, and he knows that there's an expansion rolling, so there won't be much of an aggression for a little while, and EGIdrA is just trying to abuse that by getting those two hatcheries rolling at the same time. If EGIdrA is able to pull this off by having a lot of drones and those mineral lines saturated really quickly, it's gonna be a big blow onto Minigun's plans for the mid and late game, I would say, because EGIdrA will be able to produce a lot really early on the game. I mean, it was like 4 minutes when he had this double hatch rolling, and now they're finally popping. As you can see, there's already workers getting transferred, so meaning that he's going to be working out of these three bases quite soon and getting this big menacing army out. I'm assuming that's going to be the way that EGIdrA will be going. Meanwhile, on Minigun side, wall of finish, there's a little gap there that he needs to place maybe a Zealot or something like that on that corner. Seems like the Zealot is just gonna head down and try to stab to death some of these Zerglings, but well, they're way faster than the Zealot. It's time to head back home, I would say. Inside his main base, not much going on. Two gas rolling. On his natural, there's still no gas getting picked up, and he's been working, as you can see, on the warp gate technology, getting the first stalker out, and we're gonna have some sort of battle here. 4 Zerglings versus 1 Zealot on the Zalnaga watchtower. I think that the Zerglings might be able to pull this one out, but no, they're just on a small skirmish, going back and forth with the Zealots surviving once more and now able to regenerate the shields and having the backup of that Stalker. So seems like everything will be fine for the forces of Minigun, at least this early on the game. But beware, those 3 bases are already rolling, and I think this is going to translate into a big menacing push by EGIdrA, with a lot of units getting produced out of these 3 bases at the same time. Whoa, EGIdrA even going for a macro hatch. This is all going so quick. He's already on 4 hatcheries at 7 minutes. Well, with the 4th one still getting finished, of course. But this is going so blistering fast that I'm not even sure what EGIdrA is planning exactly. But seems like he's in complete macro mode. And with those 4 hatcheries, he will be able to produce so many units that I'm assuming that we're going to have a big push going on and knocking on the door of Minigun. And I'm not sure if Minigun will have enough to defend against it. Inside this base, more gateways coming out, and the first robotics facility. Will he be popping an observer, or will it be to get some immortals rolling? Seems like that for now he's still finishing up his warp gate, also taking care of that upgrade, the +1 on the ground weapons. And meanwhile, here on the back of his Natural Expo, gateways by the pile, 3 more, with 2 more here and 1 on the front, so 6 gateways out of 2 bases. And chrono boosting once more that weapons level 1. I'm wondering if he's planning on trying to make some sort of time push soon enough. As you can see here on Minigun side, he is not aware that EGIdrA has that 3rd base, so he might be in for a surprise and actually not have much for him to do when he faces the big forces that EGIdrA apparently will be putting out. Inside his main base once more, let's take a look. Well, nothing else going on. EGIdrA apparently just establishing a small force right in front of the ramp that gives access to the Natural Expo from Minigun. Just basically noticing every unit that passes there. And now with an Overlord taking scouting information. But seems like that is not going to last long and not going to be able to reach the place where the tech is placed there. And EGIdrA didn't took much information with that Overlord. Meanwhile, inside his base, Roach Warren almost ready to pop, also tacking up to the lair tech. And what else is going on? Oh, there it is, the observer from Minigun, spotting that 3rd base is rolling. And I'm pretty sure he's just scratching his head and is going on, what the hell, he's already on 3 bases? I need to get something done out of here really quickly, or he's going to have this massive army and is going to slap my face back and forth all the way back into my base. So I need to just get things rolling soon enough. 15 roaches coming out, attack level 1 almost close to ready. There's 6 more in the glial reconstitution, the roach speed popping out as well. Let's take a look at the armies for now. 10 roaches against 7 sentries, 7 stalkers, with 10 zerglings helping out. And there it is, that proxy pylon that will help reinforcing this push, with also, we're gonna have a war prism that you can follow there on the pip window, preparing to unload on the main base of EGIdrA, while the main forces, I'm trying to follow them here on the middle of the map. And will they be advancing? Yes, it is. This is going to be a multi-pronged assault by Minigun, trying to distract EGIdrA and force him to multitask. There it is, intercepting some roaches. Stalkers arriving here on the 3rd base from EGIdrA. Beautiful force field place. Look at that, just blocking the access to all of these units that EGIdrA was sending down here to help out saving this 3rd base and forcing him to pull off his workers, all of the mineral line. This is going to be really nasty. Beautiful control by Minigun, containing the aggression from EGIdrA, and at the same time EGIdrA was trying to defend against the assault that you could follow on the pip. Oh, there it is. There it is, yeah, we couldn't miss one of those, could we? And notice this warp prism warping in more units here, and seems like that EGIdRA plans for having this 3rd base rolling for a long time will be finished. Boom, exploding that hatchery, no more production coming out of there. The economy from EGIdRA obviously taking a big hit. And now we're going to have a face-off here in this area between the 3rd and the Natural Expo from EGIdRA. Roaches showing up from the north and from the west as well, trying to face off here. Again, beautiful force field play with so many sentries containing the aggression, and EGIdRA is just hanging here. There's nothing for him to do besides trying to enter this ramp, climb up this ramp and start destroying the forces from Minigun. But Minigun has been controlling this so well, completely wreaking havoc and just raising this 3rd base from EGIdRA. EGIdRA was fast on the answer, as you can see, by getting a 3rd base now on that one in front of his main base there on the north position. Again, more force field play going on. with basically Minigun just toying a bit around with EGIdRA's units, and EGIdRA decided that this is useless. I'm gonna wait for him to get back. Observer keeping tabs on everything. There's the third base, supposed to be the fourth, but EGIdRA just lost his third. There's the third from EGIdRA. Meanwhile, inside his base, we do have the Evo Chamber working on more upgrades. On his Natural Expo, he's already taking care of his infestation pit. Also, already the attack level 2 getting worked on, so plenty of upgrades rolling. Pneumatized carapace, so apparently EGIdRA is preparing to get a very I don't know how to say it, but a very creative approach to this. Pneumatized carapace. Also, with that infestation pit, we might be seeing infestors getting mixed in. I wonder which way he's going to be heading, but I'm just curious. I think this is going to be interesting. Now, units from EGIdRA advancing to the middle of the map, clearing the path for an assault, removing all of those proxy pylons that would allow his opponent to warp in units when he feel like it. And meanwhile, inside the bases from Minigun, as you can see, this SimCity, this place is completely crowded. And inside here, his main base, we have a Twilight Council and also another forge, so double forge rolling, while EGIdRA advances here towards this rocks. He's trying to clear it to access this base. That's going to be the third base from Minigun. And this is kind of a fragile, dangerous position because basically Minigun is expanding towards his opponent, so the defense might become harder. But I do see that Minigun is placing a lot of forces here, making sure that those roaches won't be able to climb up this ramp without paying dearly for it. And EGIdRA just getting his fourth base rolling. He's going to let the hatchery again here on this position. After he got it destroyed, he's going to attempt to establish that base once more. Inside his bases, let's take a look. Roach Warren there, working on that pathogen gland, so we're gonna have some infestors popping out pretty soon. There it is, 6 infestors getting ready to pop out of those cocoons. And at the same time, what else do we have here? Let me take a look. We do have Minigun actually clearing the path on both sides to his base, so he can have an easy access. But well, EGIdRA is gonna have an easy access to that area as well. And apparently EGIdRA is just keeping tabs on this base, making sure that nothing comes up here without him noticing. And at the same time, Minigun advances once more with Stalker, Sentries and Zealots with a single Immortal there mixed on the fray. With the amount of roaches that EGIdRA has been working on, should be a good idea for him to consider adding up more Immortals. And as you can see, I was only looking for one and stating 1 Immortal, but there's 3 there. So those Immortals just go through those roaches like butter. They love all of those roaches. They just go nom 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 carapaces. And apparently Minigun is just getting this solid, healthy position here in the middle of the map that will provide him with some map control, holding on the Selnaga Watchtower, while EGIdRA has here the north one. And seems like that EGIdRA is also messing up a big army here on the creep on this area in front of his Natural Expo in third base. And as you can see on the armies, very heavy on the roaches EGIdRA. Also 73 Zerglings, 7 Infestors, the 3 Queens, I'm pretty sure they won't participate. 18 Stalkers, 4 Immortals, 5 Zealots with 9 Sentries. This is going to be a very interesting clash when they actually happens. Hive Tech rolling for EGIdRA as well, there it is. Also taking care of plenty of Spore Crawlers and Spine Crawlers on his bases. I wonder if he's fearing some sort of DT movement from his opponent, maybe some drops going on, because he's making sure he's going to have some defenses on the back of the base, on the back of each of his bases actually, to make sure that if any DTs show up, when he decides to push with the bulk of his forces, he's still going to have some sort of holding his ground and defending. Notice here Minigun just positioning his observers, noticing the movements from EGIdRA, and seems like we're gonna have a massive battle ensuing here. I'm gonna take all of those HP bars, I'm sorry. Oh, White Templar showing up on the front, trying to feed back, and now beautiful force field play, containing the roaches, trying to make some bottlenecks there, and now all of these Stalkers shooting down the roach force. Nice, there it is, Neural Parasite controlling the Immortal, Immortal blasting away onto his own forces, and now moving ahead, Minigun just trying to break into those force fields that he placed them himself. Nice positioning there, again, locking all of those units that were on the back of the forces from EGIdRA, forcing EGIdRA to retreat, and is dominating here in the middle of the map. Was a very interesting first skirmish. The roaches weren't able to stand the aggression. Notice the upgrades, 2-1 here. Let me take a look at the roaches for now. 0-0 on the roaches. What about the Zerglings? Zerglings on 2-0, so we do have Minigun just dominating there the upgrade aspect for now, and he's working already on the +3 and +2, so EGIdRA needs to work on that. He cannot slack on the upgrades, or he might find himself on a big downhand closer to the end of the game. For now, EGIdRA going for his 1, 2, 3, 4, his 5th 5th base, but 6th hatchery if I count with this one. And we do have Minigun working on 4 bases. He meanwhile established this one, and seems like we're gonna have some sort of battle ensuing here. Again, with the drop going on with that Warp Prism, going straight into this hatchery, and the EGIdrA is gonna be forced to cancel this one before it's too late. There it is, cancelling it and running away. Now with Minigun apparently trying to move once more. Huge around here. This Zealots won't be last long, and meanwhile there's a massive incursion ensuing here in the middle of the map. EGIdrA trying to land a lot of spine crawlers, but it's way too late. Psy Storms rolling, and now the massive bulk of the forces from Minigun advancing. Look the amount of Immortals. Oh, beautiful move by EGIdrA. So many Neural Parasite controlling all of those Immortals, and the Immortals are just blasting away their own forces. Very well done by EGIdrA, but incoming the reinforcements by Minigun. Minigun advancing here. There's not much left of the forces from EGIdrA. It's a bunch of Infestors, and they're really squishy, they're really fragile. Infested Terrans trying to help out a little bit, but there it is again. EGIdrA just trash talking once more. The Zealots trying to finish off those forces there on the south side. Fungal growth going down, trying to grind down the forces from Minigun, but there's still plenty going on here, and EGIdrA desperately trying to stream some Zerglings out of his bases, but they're just basically showing up here on a single line and getting destroyed one by one. This isn't the way. EGIdrA needs to stack them. Uh-oh. Yeah, Minigun is just being a sport, trying to go along with it, and seems like that EGIdrA didn't like what went on here. He was a bit offensive, a bit abusive once more, and apparently for him, Minigun played so wrong. Well, EGIdrA apparently has a different perspective over this matter, this subject. Even playing so wrong, I guess he won. So congrats to Minigun, what can I say? I think that they need to face off on a best out of 7 or something like that for us to just enjoy such a long battle between these two guys. This game was very action-packed, actually, very interesting. And, well, a pretty cool match from the North American servers. Let me just go ahead and take a look here. Whoa, look at the amount of gateways that Minigun had here on the back of his main base. Jesus, this is a lot. Also that Templar Archives that put out some High Templars. High Templars didn't have that much of a participation, by the way, but they did try some feedbacks and Psy Storms. And EGIdrA was quite heavy on the roaches, and these Immortals attempted to destroy them, backed up by all those siege tanks and obviously the force field play. EGIdrA with those Neural Parasites tried to make a big move there, but wasn't enough. Just basically wasn't enough. Minigun had enough to replenish his forces and reinforce it, so as you can see he was even warping in more and more. So there was not much for EGIdrA to do besides tap out, and I was actually surprised when I saw EGIdrA expanding, making that double expand really early in the game. I was wondering if he would be so far ahead that he would crush Minigun, but well, Minigun winning again. Congrats to Minigun. Hope you guys enjoyed this match. See you all later, have fun.